All right, let's welcome in NFL Network's analytics expert, Cynthia Frelund. Cynthia, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there, just chilling in the kitchen right
I
now. How
like
about
it.
you?
So we have you on because we're going to run through a mock draft all the way through the Chargers pick. You do have mock drafts on NFL.com, but yours are a little different because they're analytics based. So how would you describe that?
So we were trying to show when I talked to my editor about what kind of mock is sort of missing from the marketplace. And we wanted to look at one that only considered how many wins were added by adding just one player and then the wins for 2020. So what we did was we took, all right, here's the game. You have one pick, you're not allowed to make any trades, and who adds the most wins just adding the one player given the current personnel at the time of writing it.
Let's get right into it. Here in the first round, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock with the first overall pick. Who are they taking?
So I do think Joe Burrow will go here. I do, absolutely. Okay. Because every rumor I've heard, I love Daniel Jeremiah. He does such a great job. Obviously, you guys are super familiar with him. But if you were to look at the analytics, we're going to go with Chase Young off the edge here. Because in terms of what the Cincinnati Bengals have in their arsenal right now, namely a horrible offensive line, a very bad O-line, adding Chase Young to add the pressure on the pass rush. I mean, you got a Bosa on your team at the Chargers. You know what it's like when you have good pass rushing ability. Yep. So, and Melvin Ingram on the other side, obviously very helpful. So if you're looking for a one-year pop, it's got to be Chase Young for me in that spot. Though I think in reality, it'll be Joe Burrow.
All right, Washington Redskins up at number 2.
So the Washington Redskins, all right, I'm going to take a liberty here because I don't think that Trent Williams will be back, meaning I think that they should take the very best potential left tackle that's available in the draft. And for me, that means Andrew Thomas, who's a tackle that comes out of Georgia. I spent a lot of time measuring. There's 4 tackles in this draft that are really project to be above average or elite. And for me, Andrew Thomas happens to be the highest rated one of them.
So Detroit has the number 3 overall pick. A lot of talk about potentially maybe them moving out of that spot, but with no trades, if they stay at 3, who do they take?
Their biggest need would be corner. So for me, Jeff Okudah out of Ohio State, this year's cornerback class, which by the way, Chargers fans don't even need to know one thing about corners because you are so stacked at that position. Don't even worry about it. What? Corner? I'm not worried. Next. But Jeff Okudah is, to me, by far and away, there's one guy who projects to be really good, and then the rest kind of all down here around average, average to maybe like a little above average. But Jeff Okudah is absolutely like heads and shoulders, projects to be the best one for me.
All right, so New York Giants up at number 4.
Let me be honest with you. My favorite player in this whole draft, and I rarely pick favorites, but I spent a lot of time looking at Isaiah Simmons. That's what I think they could really benefit from. However, they did pick up Blake Martinez in free agency, and he's really good. So just edging out Isaiah Simmons is actually some guy who projects to play right tackle, protecting Daniel Jones, helping Saquon Barkley, creating more stability along the O-line. So for me, Tristan Wirfs is going to be the next one. He projects to play right tackle or to succeed the most playing right tackle for me. He's out of Iowa. Just because he fits that right tackle profile so well, that's why he's number 2.
All right, Miami Dolphins up at number 5.
Well, there he is. Miami Dolphins, they get, in my mock, they get Joe Burrow. The reason why is that Joe Burrow, his quarterback projection, both under pressure, not under pressure. The resume that we saw last season, so 2019, with Joe Brady as his coordinator, that resume is nasty. Like, I can compare that year over year to any of the guys that are in my sample, and he pops off the charts. The problem is that the year prior, so we saw a big jump in his development 2018 to 2019. What that tells me, bigger than an outsized jump. What that tells me is that there's a bit more volatility, meaning it does matter who's playing around him. While I am very high on Joe Burrow, let me be clear. Every quarterback in the National Football League, there's not one single quarterback ever in the history of the National Football League. Everybody needs a system around them to help them. So for me, and the Dolphins, they got to work in their system a little bit, especially that O-line. But to me, their biggest opportunity right here is to pick Joe Burrow.
All right. And then number 6, here we go. The Los Angeles Chargers. Who are they selecting?
So my model likes things that are known, right? And what we know about Tyrod Taylor is that he has very consistent traits. He's not a turnover-prone quarterback. He's not a quarterback who he executes what is asked of him at a high level on a consistent rate. So I have a smart pairing would be him and Tua. Now, Tua is polarizing for some people because of the injury. And for me, Tua is that kind of, they actually have some traits that would help each other. Tua at his best has that quick passing of it. We saw he was like a good blend of like quick passing and then like strategic deep targets, which is really, think about it, quick passing, Austin Eckler, any of your tight ends, and then the deep strategic plays. I mean, you've obviously there's that one guy, number 13. But if you think about being able to use that strategically, and Tua's mobile, and so is Tyrod, but Tua's best and just like every young quarterback who comes from college, and everyone, again, the injury is something to absolutely take into consideration, but I'm kind of asserting that to the best of our knowledge, it's okay.
He's fine. Yep. That's what we're going with. Cynthia Frelund picking Tua Tagovailoa to go to the Bolts. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining me on this mock draft today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Stay safe.
What's happening, Chargers fans? If you guys want to see some more, click right here. Check it out. It's pretty simple. Right here. Check it out.